Om Sri Sai Ram. Checking of transmission. When I was chanting just now, can you all hear me? Can you hear the chant clearly?
Oh, Sri
Yes,
Sai
we
Ram.
heard.
Yes, we heard you. Clear. I think so.
Yeah, it was clear. Thank you.
Okay, all right, very good. Very happy to be in this space with you, all of you, the chosen ones. The knowledge that's coming through is not for everyone, I think, but it will be a matter of time before it will be for everyone. It's time now behind us. Time is like a fire. Yeah, it consumes. If you don't know how to relate to time, sometimes you get burnt. Time is like a fire. Consumed. What else? For some, it's like a threat. For some, it's like a friend. For some, like God. How does God manifest in terms of time? How does God look like in terms of time? It's time. You all are the chosen one. Keep on the student fast. Going to now Dasa Maha Vidyas, walking with Dasa Maha Vidyas, Viswaroopa, Prema. What an incredible title and energy that came through. This was told. It was just told a few minutes. And I could totally understand how this dimension is open up for us now. This possibility, just like how we walk with Sai Kalavera to Viswaroopa Sai. Now this is wow, what an incredible unfoldment, and I could totally recognize. And always when something is told, title is told, there is confirmations. Actually, five dimensions. All got. Okay, voice not very clear. I will check. Okay, I'll turn this off. Right. Hope you all can hear me now. What? I think this should be better. So there was a 5-dimension clearing before we could actually announce that title. We cannot simply announce such things. We can't assume. We need to get clearance, approval, very strong indication, energy. We need to have the energy in order to say it, because energy first. And I think this is something which all of you should learn. Yeah, all of you chosen ones here. Because you have already seen many levels of unfoldments, you have already seen many ways, indications, you are familiar now with the unfoldment. So many of you are capable of doing this, okay? So the energy comes, and then the movement comes, movement of energy, and then the physical comes. So the physical is last. I think you have to get used to that. But of course, sometimes it seems like the physical move first and then the energy comes, but that's an illusion. It's going fast forward now. Okay? Energy comes first. Without energy, the physical cannot follow. If the physical is done without energy, of course, obviously you won't feel it. and it will not stay long. Whatever that's being placed there, it doesn't stay long. Okay, so this is something which we need to be aware of, and hopefully all of us learn how to use it for the larger good, always for the larger good, the expansion, not the contraction. Contraction is of, I mean, contraction can happen in a split second. Okay, but you should be conscious. It is fine. Contraction is fine. It is it comes like this, yeah. And when it comes together, your focus on the point should be very sharp. Yeah. And this needs cultivation. Okay. Maybe we have a round of sharing and let me know what you think. If contraction comes, what should you do? What should you focus on? Anyone?
I mix some cold water. Try. I mix.
Already?
Yeah, about water lah.
Okay, thanks. Okay, anyone? How is it? Contraction time. What do you do? I think this session is going to evolve into a class, and I think after a while we will need you all to turn on your video so that I know you're not walking around and doing some other things. For those who want to learn, okay, I'm not saying everyone should. It's open for those of you who are very much focused completely into what is being said here. You can turn on your video so I can know how it brings me joy. Brings me joy.
So sorry. I'm trying to focus. I'm trying to understand. But what you just said is completely on top of me. I can't grab it. I can't even grab it. I don't understand. So sorry. I'm still trying. I'm still in the blind.
Thank you
Sorry.
for telling me that. Otherwise, I'll go on, and you know, everyone is losing it. Thanks for telling me that. I totally appreciate that. Okay. All right. So Dasa Maha Vidyas are here. Dasa Maha, they are not manifesting as all completely one time, but it is gradual, one by one, like that, you know, and they have their own timing and own manifestations. There are a few whom which you are very, very connected to. But the main, just like Sai Kala Bhairav, with the Bhairavs, yeah, it's all around. And the Kala Bhairav is the main. So for Dasama Vidya, for us, Mother Kali is main. Okay. So Mother Kali has been manifesting. The Kali portal is activated again today to greet some beings that came from Chitra. So Chitra Ashram, the main people are here, and they were guided to the Kali portal, and their experience was incredible. Yeah, one almost puked. So, and one couldn't stand after he came out. You know, you need to hold on to something for a while and get the orientation correct. It's just a few minutes of that portal, but that seems to be quite a long time for them. Yeah. So it's like that when you enter a portal, you feel like it's a long time, but actually when you come out, you check, it's actually a very short time. So these are the experiences that are coming through for all of you. You just have to learn how to identify them. Yeah. Just like how Sai Kala Bhairav is, you need to learn how to connect to Madhikali. Yeah. Madhikali is very, very gracious, very compassionate, very merciful, and also very, very fierce. I think we need to.
Beautiful. She's
Huh?
very beautiful.
Yes, very beautiful. Very you know you go into a trance seeing her beauty. So, but of course, these are all to be experienced, and you see, you don't have to look for it. It's not like you need to focus and try to see. Of course, some level of focus should be there, but not too wide, not too not too tight, not too loose. This is the incredible saying of Lord Buddha: not too tight, not too loose. Too tight, you will snap. Too loose, no sound come out. Okay. Yeah, so Madhikali is very, very incredible. The presence, the divine presence, her illumination is so powerful, and it is for all. Okay, this is for all. It's not for just for this bonnet. It's not for a particular group like us. It is for the larger group. Actually, we are just fortunate to be able to be aware of this phenomena and be somewhat in service of this entire unfoldment. We are very much in service, actually.
Okay, brother. For me, like what you said, the timing. For me, timing is something like God right now, because you see, I'm working from home. But when it comes about after lunch, about after 2 p.m., close to 3:30, somehow or other things become a bit mellowed. My job flow it's actually giving me space to be here at 4 o'clock for this session. So it is all divine's blessing, I would say. Yes, I will say that I can confirm that definitely it is divine's play. And the contraction you were saying, what can we do? I think I'll give some space. I won't like force myself into getting into it. Like yesterday you were mentioning about the Varahi Tilak on the pool, but I was just today morning when I saw the Durga's picture, suddenly the whole thing, it gave me a different meaning towards it. And how the lion resonates with your lion, with the lion in Swami Tan Kim Chai's pool. So yeah, I think I'll give myself some space to grab the whole message during those contraction time. Space, yeah.
Very, very happy. Now, for Sister Jayanti, time has become a friend. And time has become divine flow, divine will. This is beautiful relationship with time. For me, to have a clock behind me, usually people don't do that. They're for all kinds of superstition against this. Yeah. But for me, time is divine. Time is God. Every moment is God and it's fire. If I don't move with, I don't treat time as God, you know what happens? I get burned. And I'm enjoying it. I'm a bit of a, over adventurous guy. I'm always tend to have this kind of tendency, and I love to always like to um, to enjoy with God. You know, as long as God is there, He can be manifesting in any form. You know, I really appreciate that. Let me send this. Okay. Okay, so today, Dasa Maha Vidyas, walking with Dasa Maha Vidyas to Viswaroopa Prema side. This is very incredible, and I would like to start reading on the Dasa Maha Vidyas. Okay, so there are 10 Maha Vidyas, and the story behind them, it's okay. I think I should read this for you because sometimes the different versions outside. It's similar story, but the essence, the emphasis point is very important. So we can actually, appreciate where it's coming from. Okay, the origin story of Dasa Maha Vidyas. Sati, the consort of Shiva, was daughter of Daksha Prajapati, one of the sons of Brahma. Sati had married Shiva against the wishes of her father, Prajapati. Daksha performed a yajna with the intention of insulting Shiva, to which he invited all of the gods and goddesses except Lord Shiva and her own daughter Sati. Okay, now, this is important. This part is talking about where the father of Sati did not recognize Shiva as Shiva. He was having mind as, some guy who just ran off with my daughter and get married, and very upset, and I want to insult him, So it's in a very, in a way, a very low, very worldly sort of outlook. So it's not recognizing that Shiva is God. Okay, so it's a key point. After that, when heard about the yajna from Narad Muni, she asked for Shiva's permission, saying that a daughter did not need an invitation from her father. Shiva said that Daksha was trying to insult him, that Sati's father is trying to insult him. And so even if Sati attended the yajna, the fruit of the sacrifice will not be auspicious. Therefore, he attempts to dissuade Sati from attending the yajna. So Shiva is like, you don't need to go. You go is no point, because if you go there, that's the intention, and there's what's the purpose of you going? So Sati became furious, and because Shiva was treating her like an ignorant lady, and not as the mother of the universe. So this is another one. Sati became furious because Shiva did not recognize the divinity in her. So it's the same problem now. Shiva didn't see her as the Almighty Lord, Universe Mother. So to show Shiva who she really was, she assumed a different form, the one of the Divine Mother. The oceans raged, the mountains shook, and the atmosphere was filled with the wonder of her form. She became furious. Yeah, she started showing who she really is to Shiva. It is said that Shiva began to shake and try to escape. I believe that because those forms are really something else. I think Shiva, I haven't seen that before. But every direction that he tried to escape, the Divine Mother stopped him. The Divine Mother had multiplied herself into 10 different forms, guarding each of the 10 directions. Oh, you know, Kala Bhairav has 8 directions. This Dasa Maha Vidyas has 10. And try as Shiva might, he could not escape from her, as she has blocked every escape route. Now, for me, I love that, that she blocked all the escape routes. Of course, I would try to act panic, but you know, it's incredible to be locked by her. You know, all the routes you cannot run. Okay, and this is incredible beauty for me. I know that it's scary initially, and I know that you know you might just freak out for quite a while, but I'm enjoying it.
If I will just fall onto her feet. I'll just totally surrender instead of escaping.
Yeah. So this is the play, lah. Okay, Shiva is, you know, is an incredible lover. Okay, Shiva, you have to understand that. So these 10 forms of Divine Mother are known as Dasa Mahavidyas. Each form has a own name, story, quality, and mantras. So who are the 10 Divine Mothers known as 10 Mahavidyas? So who are the 10 Divine Mothers known as 10 Mahavidyas? Let's get started. Okay, so this is the gist of the story. Okay, and it is very important for us to understand this gist of the story, because the approach towards these 10 forms is really incredible grace. Yeah, incredible grace and blessings. I see it as you know how we are ignorant. We can't see the God in others. When the moment we can't see God in others and we belittle them, that's what we are doing. When we are not seeing God in someone, we are belittling, especially when we judge them, when we assume we know them, and we start demanding that they, you know, accommodate to our relationship, our worldly relationship. So when you are in that kind of space, you have already committed a sin, actually. But nevertheless, the great Lord knows that a lot of people commit this sin, and this is part of the play of the Maya. So we are able to understand that you know, God in all in compassionate mercy has enacted this incredible drama to save those who have been committing this sin unconsciously, and of course, because of Maya, you know, everyone does that. What? Okay. So both sides have committed the sin for us, actually. Yeah, I totally see it. One leg here, this leg. Okay, wait, hold on. Yeah, this is much better lighting, I think. Is this better or earlier better? All right.
This is better.
This is good. Okay.
Yeah.
right, so now the Lord Sati also didn't see, and Shiva also didn't see for us. And this whole Dasa Mahavidyas came, and they are the one who locks. Okay, he embraces all directions, and we are all to now explore being surrounded by Dasa Mahavidyas. Okay, so we are all actually inside, and if you see all the forms of the Dasa Mahavidyas, you would a lot of the forms you see is Shiva enjoying watching, lying down at the bottom, right? So he's in a smiling mode, watching the the fierce form of Sati and manifesting. So it'd be great if we can approach the forms and also the teachings of Mother Sati in this way. Okay. Okay. First, Kali. She's the main. Okay. She is the one that is leading the packs. All of them here. First of all, Sati took the form of Kali. Her form was fearful, her hair untied and loose, her body the color of dark cloud. Oh, thunder. She had deep-set eyes and eyebrows shaped like curved swords. She stood on a corpse, wore a garland of skulls. Okay, the garland of skulls, we really need to pay attention, right? Because the skull, there's something incredible there, incredible. And wearing and earrings made from the bones of corpse. She had 4 hands. On one hand, she had the head of a skull, and the other, a curved sword with blood dripping on it. She had mudras on her other 2 hands. She's giving freedom from fear, and the other giving blessings. She roared, and the 10 directions were filled with that ferocious sound. Sounded like when I went into the pool yesterday, there was some roar. In the series of the 10 Mahavidyas or wisdom aspects of the Divine Mother, Kali comes first, for she represents the power of consciousness in its highest form. Okay, I guess that's why we are having her as the one leading. I didn't know this. So we are on the right track. She is at once supreme power and ultimate reality, underscoring the fundamental tantric principle, tantric teaching that the power of consciousness and unconsciousness itself are one and the same. We are, in other words, we have reached unconsciousness. We are embracing now. We are, this is the whole ascension, quantum ascension is actually to awaken consciousness. Yeah. And now we are at this point where we have been told by Mother Kali that unconsciousness and consciousness is the same. So we are going to embrace unconsciousness now. The Devi Maha Maya vividly depicts a scene with Kali and her associated goddesses ready to take on any army of demons. Wow, this looks like my phone. My phone's screenshot. Look at this. Yeah, that's Mother Kali ready to take on the army. The army is right down there, you can see. Yeah, beautiful.
Wow.
Yeah, I always see this. I mean, it's also a reflection again. Yeah, it's not something which is the energy that came first to signify some presence. The battle culminates with the slaying of two demon generals, Chanda and Munda. And this act earns her the name Chamunda. Next, Chamunda takes on the demon Rakta Bija. In the battle, she sheds blood profusely until the world is teeming with Rakta Bijas. Just when the battle looks hopeless, the ongoing gods despair. Chamunda roams the battlefield, vividly lapping up the blood and crushing the ascent demons between her teeth. Finally drained of his last drop of blood, Rakta Bija topples lifelessly to the ground. Here, Rakta Bija amazing replicative ability symbolizes the human mind's ordinary state of awareness. The ordinary state of awareness could mean also limited awareness and maybe worldly awareness also. Right? The mind is constantly in motion, and the other thoughts begets another in an endless succession. Thus the mind is chasing something and it's not ending. The mind rarely rests and is never fully concentrated. This sounds like what we have been going through. In the light of Prajapati's Yoga Sutra, we can understand Chamunda as the power to restrain the mind's endless modulation, to stop them altogether. When all mental activities cease, that state is called yoga. Consciousness resting in its own infinite bliss and peace. Okay, so Chamunda, which is Mother Kali, is able to seize your mind and all that, patterns, habits of running around. And this is something which, we are becoming aware of. There's a peace and bliss behind when you are able to seize your mind's activities, right? And this is what also Brother Chulan was voicing out about shock. How do you handle a shock? And I was saying that shock is really nice because it sees your mind, it seizes your mental activity. Yeah. So just a few more stanzas. Okay. As Dakshina Kali, she is portrayed as young and beautiful, standing on the supine, ash-smeared body of Shiva. She looks up at her, who looks up at her adoringly. She's talking about the form, right? We'll start having slides very soon, okay? Next time I'll try to prepare all of this, because we're all happening in the flow. So this beautiful. So Shiva is absolute consciousness, ever blissful in its own way. Kali is consciousness in motion. Now look at that. The overflowing joy that projects, sustains, and withdraws the universe. Consciousness and its powers are one and the same reality. Oh, this is incredible. Huh? This is something which we need to pay attention on. I'm going to read it again. Okay, this is the form, right? Mother Kali's form is portrayed as a young, beautiful, and standing on the ash-smeared body of Shiva, who looks at Mother Kali adoringly. Shiva is absolute consciousness, ever blissful in his own glory. Kali is a consciousness in motion, the overflowing joy that projects, sustains, and withdraws the universe. So Mother Kali is the one who projects, sustains, and withdraws the universe. So she is the one who is in motion, Shiva in motion. Consciousness and its powers are one and the same reality. In other words, this entire unfoldment of the universe in motion, being withdrawn, projected, and sustained, it's Mother Kali. Okay? In general, we can say that all the dualities of life, the light and the dark, the beautiful and the fearsome, are united and reconciled in Kali. She represents supreme non-duality, as she is none other than Brahman. At the same time, the duality of this world is nothing other than her own expression. So whatever you see, the duality of this world is Mother Kali. From the absolute to the relative, and from the relative to the absolute, Kali represents the power of transformation. For us who wrongly think ourselves to be mere mortals, she holds the promise of transformation from the human to divine. Okay?
Brother, I think you have to summarize it. It is, yeah.
Okay, great. I think we are together until the last two paragraphs. Last two paragraphs are very powerful. Okay, we can spend the whole session on this two. Okay, so don't worry. All right. So this is the end. Okay, this is the end. The last three, I remember it. It's very powerful. We will go into it. Before that, let's open the floor for any questions.
So what is Shiva actually doing there? He's just meditating in blissful manner, and Mother Kali is doing all the other aspect of the movement.
Okay. Now, Shiva has always been there. He is always there. He's not in motion, and Shiva usually he doesn't move, and he only movement he does is actually Mother Kali. Mother Kali is the one that moves actually. Shiva is always known before as static, and Kali is dynamic. Yeah, it's the same consciousness in motion. Shiva is consciousness, and consciousness in motion is Mother Kali. Okay, but the form is projected in such a way so that we know that Shiva is not moving. Shiva is just lying there. And for him to be lying there, it shows his presence. It shows that he is there. Yeah, just for us to know. Okay. So the projection of moving of the universe, the unfoldment, the projection of the universe, the sustenance of the universe, and the dissolution of the universe is Madhukali. Got it?
Yes, somehow.
Okay, I'll read again. The last two. In general, we can say that all the dualities of life, the light and the dark, the beautiful and the fearsome, are united and reconciled in Kali. Okay? The dark and the light. I think the dark and the light pretty much encompasses everything already. Dark and light. That's yin and yang. That's all, you know, sometimes. Okay, now let's talk about the dark. Okay, the dark is some area which if we can give more illumination, we can give more light, we can understand much better what we are going through. Yeah, what is happening with the universe, pretty much, actually. Okay, right. So the dark and the light. Now, yesterday I've gone through this. What is light? Do you all remember? What is light?
Light needs to be there to see the darkness. Or is it the other way around? It's within the darkness.
Okay. Good. Anything? Anyone else? What is light? Yesterday, I've spoken quite a bit on light. I'm gonna start marking.
Enlightenment.
Enlightenment. Okay, enlightenment. Is light here now or around you?
Yes.
Yeah. Yes.
Hmm?
Yes, to see things clearly.
So light is around you.
Yes.
So are you in the light?
Yes.
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 So you are in the light now.
It's getting light.
Yes, you are in the light. You are in the light. That's why you can see the chair. You can see your body. You can see the color of your clothes. You can see how you know, you can look around and you can see your furnitures. Okay, you can see. Just imagine a person who's blind. They can't see. There's not enough light to see. They can assume, they can just guess, but they can't see. They don't know how the chair look like. They don't know how you know, the furnitures look like. They don't know where they're walking clearly. So that's in the dark. Okay? When you can't see, you're in the dark. But of course, there are those who, you know, tap onto the consciousness and you can actually see yourself from the top. You know, even though it's blind, you can actually see yourself walking. Those are very high level, you know, those are like ninjas. But for us, you can see around, you can feel, you can actually know the position of thing. This is light. Yeah. So dark is when you can't see clearly. Yeah. Even a chair looks like a lion. You know, a rope looks like a snake. Yeah. a friend looks like a stranger. It can be a threat to you. Looks like a robber, but it's your friend walking in. That's dark. All right. So light, you have to know this. Light is when you are in a particular consciousness. You are able to be conscious of the screen. You're conscious of what is being spoken. Is conscious of. So conscious of itself comes from consciousness. To be able to be conscious of something, you need consciousness. Otherwise, you can't be conscious of something. Consciousness gives you ability to be conscious of something. Okay. All right. So consciousness is light, actually. Conscious of also is light. All right. Okay, so far? Good?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Good. All right. Now, dark. Now, we need to explore dark. What is darkness? Darkness is not so conscious of. For example, something was taken away from you. You don't know. It's unconscious. You're not conscious. Or even if the thing is not taken away, but you think someone took it away, but the thing is there. So it's actually unconsciousness. You're in the dark, you're guessing. You're guessing and you're getting fearful. What if they take this thing away? This is mine, and I took a long time to take it. Now, someone might be taken, but actually might be in front of you. So you have this unconscious thing going on in your head, yeah. Or even the body, for that matter. This body, I have to keep it healthy, otherwise, I think I have this pain, and it could be COVID. So that's unconsciousness. You are just guessing. You are in the dark. You're not clear. Yeah, some people, they love to be aware. For example, going to a doctor. Just find out what it is. Some people cannot go to doctor because they are afraid to know what's going to happen, what the doctor is going to say. Yeah. So you have all types of unconsciousness. Yeah. Unconsciousness is very, very big actually. Yeah. It's Maya, Maha Maya. So Maha Maya, somewhat you can call this dark actually. We are all in the dark. Many of us are in the dark. That's why we don't know who we are. And that's why we are caught into relationship struggles, and we're caught into the world of all kinds of desires, outward desire. Yeah. So that's largely got to do with Maya, got to do with darkness. We did not know that the one that we have been longing, or the thing that we're trying to get so desperately and wanting, it's actually you, yourself. Okay, so these are all due to Maya. You can't see, so it's dark. Okay, understand? So far, how's it going? So there's light and there's dark. Yeah.
Starting to get enlightened.
You need to get enlightened. Yeah. You should get desperate. So
Brother, is it possible for you to share the text, especially the last two stanza?
Yes. Actually, I was thinking of doing that. Every time I read, I'm gonna put the text up. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
Yes, I will post this also. This is very, very. It's good to be able to follow. Okay, so the beautiful and the fearsome. Beautiful, I guess everyone knows what's beautiful, because we like to look at beautiful things, right? But the fearsome, are you able to look at the fearsome for too long, or do Do you have a glimpse of the fearsome and straight away you put it under the carpet and no, I don't want to get into it? Huh? Isn't it normal? A lot of people do that, right? When they see a fearsome, but then again, there are those who love horror movies, those who like, you know, that thrill of that fearful one coming through, and you know, you get really excited with, you know, but they are trying to hide with the pillow while watching. So the beautiful and the fearsome, it's also the dualities of life, and then light and dark, beautiful and fearsome are united and reconciled in Kali. This is so true. Kali is very beautiful, really, it's so beautiful. I've seen just from her face, I can go on looking into her. You get lost in it. And the fearsome beauty and the fearsome is reconciled in her. You can see it from the image. The entire she is exposed and she is open and she is beautiful and then also very fearful. Yeah, so it's reconciled. Both is reconciled in Kali. And she represents supreme non-duality, for she is none other than Brahman. She is the creator. And also the entire manifestation of the universe. It's the universe that you see. Okay, now this is what enlightenment is about. We are very close to enlightenment now, actually, by the way. You are conscious now. You are light, right? That's why you're able to be aware of all the furnitures around you. You're aware of your body, you're conscious of, and you know now that your ability to be conscious of anything is due to consciousness behind you giving that energy. And that's Shiva. So in other words, you're Shiva. Okay. You're Shiva. Shivoham. So consciousness is coming out now. You are becoming conscious of. Now you have consciousness now. You are Shiva. You are consciousness. Now what do you want to be conscious of? Since you are Shiva, what do you want to be conscious of? You know, for me, I'm Shiva. I want to see this whole creation, actually. I want to see who is it. You know, I want to see him. That's my longing, and that's my innermost desire. And consciousness come through conscious of the universe. You know, this entire universe is actually a manifestation of Shiva in motion. Shiva in motion is all that you see all around the skies, the planet, the galaxy. Is all him in motion, which is Madhikali. All that you see is Madhikali, including you. This is enlightenment.
Yes, I want to experience also. I want to experience the Shakti through Shiva.
Yes, and you will experience it. You might even experience it in this session. It is possible. Why? Because you have disassociated yourself to the body. You have disassociated yourself to the limitations of body consciousness. Now we are tapping into consciousness directly, and Mother Kali is here to assist. She is here to freeze our mind and give us the experience. She represents supreme non-duality, for she is none other than Brahman, At the same time, the duality of this world is nothing other than her own self-expression. So all the dualities that you see is her expression. It's her. Now your consciousness is expanding because you're no longer just conscious of the furnitures. You are beginning to be conscious of all the dualities as an expression of Madhikali. So your consciousness has expanded. You are no longer limited to this house or this mind. You are embracing all. From the absolute to the relative, and from the relative to the absolute. Kali represents the power of transformation. That's what happened just now, isn't it? We just transform actually. Our consciousness expanded. So we are transformed. So for us who wrongly think ourselves to be mere mortals, please, can we work on that? I mean, can we just push aside that one first? Yeah, that is the problem here actually. For us who wrongly think ourselves to be mere mortals, she holds out the promise of transformation from human to divine. I am in so much joy. Okay, any questions? See, these are amazing knowledge, and I really wish that, you know, it just doesn't remain as knowledge. I wish that all this will become an experience for you. It's an actual manifestation for you. So, and that's what we are trying to do here, to really experience what have been told right now, and not for tomorrow, right now, because this is the reality. This is what's happening now. The entire world is the manifestation of Madhikali. Duality, dark and light, beauty and fear, ferocious, both is her. How's it going so far?
Initially when we started with Kala Bhairav, you know, he's also a very ferocious guy. And then as days goes by, you know, one started chanting and becoming closer to him, and we found so much of love in him. So I think this is also going to be the same thing. You know, initially we see Kalima as so ferocious and scary with the blood oozing out and so on. I think only for the first few glance it looks scary, but as the more we go closer to her, we'll feel the love and the motherly love, and that's what I feel. Yeah, we must love her. We must try to understand why she is that fierce. Let's just remove whatever which is not wanted.
Thanks for that. Okay, now I want to guide you further on embracing the ferocious. Okay, now watch. We have been just like, you know, sister was saying, you know, Madhikali, Kala Bhairav initially was very ferocious, very fierce, and we learned to embrace her, embrace him now, and be able to connect to him in such a more loving way, and we feel the connection deep inside, right? Now, Marikari has been coming on into our space for a while already, yeah, and she's showing glimpses here and there, and so you do find me telling every other time that Marikali is doing in whichever position. Now the whiteboard of Rainbow and Siddha Academy, yeah, the rock wall. Yeah. You guys have been seeing some forms coming through, right? And a lot of the forms, it can look a bit ferocious, and also some can you feel a bit scared to see initially. Yeah, there are those who are not they're afraid to see it, but now you are able to get excited when you see this incredible, images coming through. And yesterday is right in the middle, he's sitting there, and there's this, this being sitting there right in the middle. And more you start seeing so many other, forms coming through, and it will keep happening. Now, remember how a lot of houses in India, you see a ferocious form outside the door of the house, or even some of the altars, or even Tibetan altars, right? You will see a ferocious form there. Yeah? And all of them have a role to play, to embrace that part of God, to understand that that part of God is also having this incredible role in our lives. And it's really incredible to see how so many people in the Bharat culture in India that embraces all of this, and they worship him openly. And there's a Kali temple, there's Chinnamasta. Homam yesterday was happening live. And they have this incredible, so many of this manifestation, the fierce form of God, and they all have a role to play in our life. For us to be able to embrace that, we are very much in line with embracing the entire creation. We are in the process of doing that, actually. To see the dark and the light as all as manifestation of God, and this is totally so much love that's coming through. We are able to start identifying so much more God's presence, God's manifestations in our lives. Okay, someone else? I'm glad that we have one very serious student here. It's totally, of course, I know many of you are also very focused, and you're all, because there is one side where I'm wondering if, this really manifestation to be shared so openly like this. But due to the flow of this entire program, we are all very much moving in this direction for a while already. And this unfoldment is a very, very crucial one. It's a very crucial one. It is going straight into Prema. Yeah, and Prema is such pure energy, and it's totally understandable now that we need to pass these ferocious forms first, for us to embrace totally the dark and to recognize all as divine, and no longer react and have any preferences of light or even dark, so that we are able to expand our consciousness much wider and to understand, and to see the entire universe as it is. Yeah. Yes. Great, great. Now I have another 7 minutes. If you all have any questions, please ask now. Otherwise, hang drum is coming.
Brother Julius, any particular reason why she's at the graveyard?
Okay, graveyard. Okay, yeah, thanks for the reminder. The skull. Okay, this is another one. I'm not sure. Okay, I think we are to address this. Skull or bones. They are the essence of our body, actually. It's the bones are the one that captures. They are the pillars. They are the backbone. They are the main structure, actually. Yeah, and a lot of this incredible everything about us is stored is inside the bone. Actually, it's our DNA is in there. Our Kundalini is also guided by the bones, and these bones are very, very sacred. Actually, if I were to share with you what my interpretation of the bone is, bones are gold for me. So they are the core of all that a person has gone through, and when you have the bones with the Lord, I think that solves everything. You know, when the Lord is holding the bone of anybody, it's like taking it on. It's agura. This is where the agura consciousness comes in, and I think we are in a way guided to embrace this part of the entire creation also. Yeah, because agoras, as Sri Anbe Arunachala was talking about, incredibly compassionate beings, very merciful, very high level of sacrifice. Um, there's one book that came to me about agoras. You know, that agora that became an agora was actually is a doctor. Okay, so we have actually, don't be surprised if you go to the Himalayas and you meet an agora and you check the background. It could be professionals or very successful people in the world. So somehow the calling of the soul, you know, is to engage into this incredible science that they do. You know, every practice they do, the rituals are very high level of science, actually. So they do not see any kind of lower emotions. So they are all beyond shame, fear, guilt, you know, dualities. They just see oneness. That's all. So that's why they are not afraid of corpse. They are not afraid of even consuming some of it, because they see, you know, the only thing they see is there's some karma there for that person or that corpse. Is still waiting for rebirth, and they are able to identify, take it, and consume it and transmute into God. So Agura consciousness is very much, that's why they worship Madhikali, because she is the leader of the Agoras, I would even say that, you know, and it's just same as Sai Kalabhairav. They are all, the Agoras worship them, Kalabhairav and Madhikali, because they are an epitome of embodiment of sacrifice, both of them. So the sacrifice level is very high, and this energy, the sacrificial energy, is reflected as fire. Yeah, and this fire can consume any karma, any sins, any ignorance. That's why when Mother Kali comes, she is known to remove all of that. That's their operating system, and that's how they function. That's how they are.
Amazing. I think the first thing that reminded me when you were talking about the skulls and how they represent the DNA, the first thing that came to my mind was the elephants. When they come across the bones of their own kind, they'll be touching it. I used to wonder, why do they have such feelings over it? And I realize now what it means. I mean, this is the real energy that is beyond energy.
Mm.
Wow, wow, that's very deep. Okay, thanks, Sarah.
Yes, incredible. They just take upon themselves, they take that being upon themselves, and they carry on to do incredible seva while these beings hung around the neck. So she's known as the savior, the liberator, the one who really came to embrace us, towards the highest consciousness, into who we really are. Yeah. Okay, great. Thank you so much. Amazing. Yeah, I thank all of you, because it's because of this energetics of all of us here, everyone, that made this possible, this kind of topics to come true, and this kind of energy to come true, that gives so much clarity. And I'm also learning as I speak, and I'm totally appreciating all your presence here. Yeah, in Sri Sai Ram.
Thank you, Brother Vidyas, for actually bringing it out and telling us, because a lot of times I know that a lot of people feel that it's too harsh, but I think it's not harsh at all. It's like we get used to it. It's something that we need to know sometimes, because we take too much seriously. Like we said, too tight. We need to loosen up. So now this is the loosening up part. It's like, okay, I get a bit more insight. That's so nice, so wonderful. Thank you, Sairam.
Oh, thank you.
Yes, brother. Thank you so much. We are all loving this session. Thank you so much.
All right, great. Brother Dore, do I pass to you?
Yeah. Sairam, Brother Julius.
Yes, brother. Yes.
Sairam. And then thank you, brother, for the detailed information of Mother Kali. It was very interesting. I was mesmerized. Thank you so much.
Sai Ram.
Okay. Sairam.
Julius, on to Sairam.
Now we will move on to Malaysia, Singapore, Indonesia, and Australia. Egadesa Rudra Parayanam. Brother Ram.
Sairam.
Sairam. Thank you. You can start.
Oh. 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 Om Bhur Bhuvasvah Tat Savitur Varenyam